Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Let's get started. And our first one comes from Vegetable Carrot 214. Am I the beehole for my girlfriend having to wait to be picked up from the airport? So my girlfriend, female, age 26, went out of town for the weekend and I, a 26-year-old male, dropped her off and picked her up. Her flight was scheduled to get back at 7:40 p.m. Sunday night. On Sunday, I went to dinner at my parents' house and was going directly from dinner to pick her up. During dinner, I was checking her flight status to make sure I was going to be on time. The last time I checked, it was at 7 p.m., and it said her flight was going to arrive at 7:28. At 7:12, I was leaving to go to the airport. I got a text from my girlfriend saying she landed, followed by a text asking why I was still at my parents' house. I said I was just leaving and would be there in about 35 minutes. She texted back and said she was so effing pissed and don't bother. I'm going to get an Uber. It's extremely irresponsible. You better have a damn good excuse. To quote a few of the texts I got on the way to the airport. Anyway, she ended up having to wait about 15 minutes for me to get her. She says she shouldn't have to wait to be picked up at the airport, and said that I should have given myself more time just in case her flight was earlier. To me, I don't understand why I should have to be the one to wait in the cell phone lot, especially when I'm doing a favor, which she says me taking her to the airport and picking her up is not a favor, just something I should do. In my opinion, for a flight that landed 16 minutes before the flight tracking said it would, waiting 15 minutes is not that bad and should be understandable. But let me know if I'm wrong. She said she talked to the people about it and they all say she's right. And I don't like talking about relationship issues with people that know the both of us, so coming to Reddit to see if I'm crazy. Hi OP, I'm gonna say you're not the beehole. The way your girl's acting kinda makes her a bit of a beehole. Like, if I was in that situation, I'd be like, oh cool man, just let me know when you get here. I can just chill in the airport, and when you come to the gate, just let me know. She sounds like she's a little too into herself over here throwing a tantrum over this. And honestly, yeah, she's your girl, and I get, picking her up at the airport, but this is kind of doing someone a favor, because picking up people at airports, especially the busy ones, is a miserable and tiring experience. If you tried picking up someone at LAX, get ready to do circles, fight in traffic around the whole airport, have people try to come over on you and take you out, and then you can't park anywhere to wait, so you're burning your gas. And you get to find, and there is a place to wait, but you get maybe 10, 15 minutes before they kick you out of the lot, and you got to go do circles again. So I get it. Honestly, she should have been able to understand this and understand where you're coming from. And like you said, you're using flight tracking. You're not magic. You don't know when things are going to be. And yeah, I would want to, not be at an airport at all. So I would try to get my timing down to like the minute to come pick her up and get the hell out of there. So that's what I would have done. I don't see what you could have done differently. I guess she expects you to get there, what, an hour, 2 hours early and just do circles and burn your gas. I'm assuming you're at a busy airport. If you're not, still, airports suck. I wouldn't have been there that early either. The only time I'm early at an airport is if I'm going somewhere and it's 3 hours early. So no, OP, I'm gonna say you're not the beehole. Your girl, she sounds like she'd be an annoying person to be around. Sorry. And our next one comes from Few Delivery 4909. Am I the beehole for telling my cousin's widow I will no longer be supporting her emotionally or physically? I, a 32-year-old female, am from a small, tight-knit family. There is my family of four: my parents, my grandmother, my aunt, and uncle. Their two kids and families. We all live in the same area and will do whatever we can to help each other out. My cousin, Derek, age 28 and male, tragically passed away a year and a half ago from a drunk driver. He left behind his wife, Monica, age 27 and female, and four kids, all under the same age of 8. It was devastating and Monica completely shut down. We all understood and started caring for her and the kids. This included me, no longer charging for rent. They lived in a house I own, next door to me, helping prepare meals, taking care of the kids, helping with appointments, schoolwork, shopping, etc., etc. I can't tell you how many times I was her shoulder to cry on. She let me put the kids in therapy, but refused to go to herself. On to now the issue. As I said, it's been a year and a half, and she's still completely shut down. She doesn't work, she doesn't cook or clean, and I've been raising the kids along with my two. This isn't sustainable. The kids miss her. They lost their mom that day. They lost her dad. I sat her down the other night and was trying to be empathetic towards her, but nothing was getting through. She just kept crying and saying she couldn't do it without Derek. I told her she doesn't have a choice. She has 4 kids who need their mother. She still wasn't listening, but I had enough. I told her that she has a week to get an appointment with a therapist before I stop supporting her and went for custody of the kids. She ran out crying. The rest of our family thinks I'm being cruel because she loved my cousin deeply, but I think this is what she needs. She can't live like this and can't keep putting her kids through this. Agreed, OP, and you are not the beehole. And I feel for her. As bad as it is, the world keeps going. It sucks, but you have to eventually keep going. And I'm not saying you can't grieve, but you still have to function in the world, you know what I mean? And she still has kids. She needs to be there for those children. They can't lose both parents like this. And you're being extremely nice and generous, not charging her rent or anything like that, which I get, I assume the husband was the breadwinner. And as much as I hate to say it, if she didn't know you and you weren't, family to her, I guess, those people would still charge her rent. She would still have to work to keep a roof over her head and keep food in her stomach. She can't keep being a burden on all you people like this. I think you said it's been a year. Yeah, that's more than enough time to get back on your feet and keep going. Like I said, she has kids, and I agree with you. If it comes to that, she needs to get it together, and if she doesn't, yeah, go get custody of those kids. It sounds like you're raising them full time anyway. And yeah, I really do agree with you. She needs that shock to her system. The family that's judging you, maybe they should get out here and pay you the rent she's paying you, and maybe they should, take care of the kids that you're doing. If they're so quick to judge when they don't have to do anything, right? And our final one comes from Background Cause 7103. Am I the beehole for not wanting to share my birthday with my deceased twin anymore? 16 female here, soon to be 17 in 3 days. I was a twin. My brother died an hour after birth. He was 5 minutes older than me. I was told my mom went into a deep depression, but with help got better over time. I've watched videos of my birthdays from 1 to 6 years old, and me sharing my birthday with my brother has started at my first birthday. There is always that 5 minutes of remembrance in honor of him, and instead of having one candle on my cake, there will be an extra or extras for him. For example, if I was 1 year, there will be one for me and one for him. If I was 2, then there would be add another 2, and so on. As a kid, I didn't really understand or mind it because I got to blow out extra candles. When I was 8, I did question it, and they told me it was a remembrance for my brother, since we share the same birthday. This carried on until my 16th, that I didn't get to celebrate because I ended up in the hospital. My grandpa showed up at the hospital while I was recovering with a gift and wished me, and only me, a happy birthday. After he left, I realized I loved that only he acknowledged me. I realized I didn't want to keep sharing my birthday with my brother, but then I felt guilty. I did try to speak to my parents about just me celebrating my birthday this year, but I was brushed off. Now we come to what happened 4 days ago, and my grandpa, who is the official cake maker in the family, asked what type of cake I'd want. I told him, and I added firmly, with only 17 candles, please. My parents were in the next room, and immediately they came in demanding to know what I was doing. That I should know that the other 17 candles were for my brother, and I ended up crying and told him that he's not even here, and I am. I can't remember everything that was said, but there was a lot of shouting with me and my parents, and Grandpa, and me getting told that I'm selfish. And I need to stop being self-centered. Grandpa left with me. I'm at his house since the big fight. I've been crying a lot, and Grandpa's been there for me, but I feel so guilty, and I need to ask, am I the beehole? Oh man, this one really pissed me off. No, OP, you are not the beehole. Even when twins are alive, they don't want to do things like celebrate together after a certain amount of years. Usually teenagers when you want to have your own sense of self. And I think it's even worse since your twin's not there, and your twin wasn't there as you were born, basically. So when I first read the title of the story, I thought you both were going to be like 13, 12. You know what I mean? The kid has been here for a while. You've had times to get emotions for both your children and then one's taken away at that age where they're basically a person. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was that, but no, it was like at birth. So I don't want to sound mean because that's your kid, and that, what I mean, that's always horrible to lose a child at any age. And if they want to do a thing or to, celebrate your brother, maybe do it the day after your birthday. But yeah, that's your birthday. And, and this might sound stupid, but what happens when you get to, okay, so you're 17, they're going to add another 17 more candles to the cake? You're going to have more candles than cake. They have to be realistic. Honestly, I would even give them the whole, give a minute of remembrance. I don't know, 5 minutes, or I think that's what was in the story. But yeah, like a minute of remembrance for your brother, that's fine. But them calling you self-centered was really messed up. That's their grief they're dealing with. They shouldn't force their hangups on you like that. And you're their child. You're the one who's here right now. You would think they would love you and want to spend even more time with you after knowing the loss of a child. Thank you so much for staying with me to the end of this video. Can you please do what I said in the beginning and like, comment, and subscribe? It will really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Velvet out.